Hi everyone, so throughout this video I'm going to be kind of just talking about my mom and I's experience with an Inbody machine, which is basically just a machine that takes a lot of measurements and percentages about your body, such as like your BMI, your body percent fat, um, how much of your weight is water. So it's like all this really good stuff that a normal scale won't tell you. So first I will share my mom's measurements and they will appear on the screen. And then I will also share my measurements. And then toward the end of this short little video, I'll just talk about um, kind of what those measurements mean and what we should do with the information to either improve or maintain the measurements. And we just decided to pick measurements that are pretty common that people are familiar with, like BMI. So there was a lot more that we got from it, but we just kind of wanted to condense it. So now my measurements will appear on the screen. And now let's just talk about what it means for us as runners. So the first measurement is BMI, and I'm sure most people are familiar with that scale. It's basically just how much you weigh in proportion to how tall you are. And the exercise specialist that was working with us said that anywhere between a BMI of 18.5 and 25 is within the normal range, like the ideal range. So the second piece of information we wanted to talk about is the BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate, and it is measured in kcal and is basically how many calories you would burn by just sitting on the couch all day with just doing nothing, just your body at rest. This number can also help calculate your caloric intake depending on how active you are as well. That's another thing it takes into account, but mainly it takes into account your BMR, which is also related to your weight and how tall you are. So we found that both of my mom and I's basal metabolic rate was within normal ranges for our height and weight. So the final measurement we chose to share with you guys because it's kind of related to running, and that is the weight of both of our legs. And that may seem kind of weird to measure, but it actually can tell you if you're going to be prone to injury, if there is like a huge discrepancy between the two. So for instance, my legs were pretty similar in weight, but my mom's were just a little bit off. I believe it was like maybe almost a pound off. So that can indicate that she might be experiencing some tightness in her leg, or she might be prone to have an injury. The main takeaway from this, however, is that both my mom and I need to build some upper body strength, most of our muscle mass, and most of where we did good on this body measurement test was within our lower body, which makes sense because we are distance and endurance runners. So that's obviously what we're working on the most, is strengthening our legs. But this did show us that we could benefit from some resistance training and from some upper body training. So this kind of motivated my mom and I to maybe incorporate some strength training into our weekly training. We were thinking maybe during our rest days or cross training days that we would try to incorporate some type of upper body workout. And hopefully after our marathon training is over, we can go back and do this test again to kind of see if there's any improvements or if there's any changes after putting our bodies through something as extreme as marathon training and doing the marathon. And hopefully we can kind of get some more analysis and results to that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it was informative and maybe it inspired you to maybe want to get a test like this done to kind of just know more about your body. So leave any questions in the comments you have down below, and stay tuned for the next week's video.